Alright, so here we have the breeder bin. Whoops. Try and get as many worms off the newspaper as I can, just in case I have to use them for something else. So once a week I put an eighth of a teaspoon of a grit source, this time being dolomite lime, and an eighth of a teaspoon of the crushed mosquito dunks, and I feed them chicken feed. This is usually done twice a week. Alright, so I give them chicken feed. This is 3 tablespoons of chicken feed with chicken mash, I should say. Well, it's not mash, it's crumbles actually. With a 1/3 cup of water, and I let it set for a little while till it gets like this. You know, you can smash it and it'll just kind of disintegrate. Get out what I can. In each of these breeder boxes I have measured out about a pound of worms. You can go a little bit lower, but a pound is pretty good, and I use a bus bin. And what I do, so I can incorporate the food into their bedding, I take a little bit of the cover bedding and just mix it up like this so that there are no big chunks of food. The worms are fine with you doing this. You're not harming them, you're not squishing them, you're just kind of rolling them if they happen to get in any handful of food. So I feed them like this twice a week for about a month, and then I at the end of the month I sift them out from their bedding, weigh them, and divide them up again into, you know, maximum of 1 pound per tray, per bus bin. So you can see, let me zoom in on them a little bit. That they're doing well. And usually by the end of the month, they've grown and gained, I don't know, anywhere from 6 to 8 ounces. So that's the need for sifting them out and putting them in different bins. Plus, when I sift all the cocoons out and the smaller worms through a 1/4 inch sieve. Okay, we're done with this one, and that's how I feed up my breeder bins. Alright, I have an alternative to feeding a breeder bin rather than mixing in the food. That is to feed it trench style. Let me go ahead and get it all ready here. Here's 1/8 of a teaspoon of mosquito dunks, crushed mosquito dunks. 1/4 teaspoon, this is diatomaceous earth. I don't put in the food yet. What I want to do is fluff up the bin, check up on the worms, check up on the moisture in the bin, see how much of the last feeding they've eaten. I fed this bin trench feeding, and I see very little from the last feeding 2 days ago. So the moisture is good. The worms are looking good. Let me see. This particular bin was just started maybe a week ago, so they haven't grown that big yet in here. All right. Let me make the top all level. I'm making a trench in the center. Not quite to the bottom of the bin. Let me go ahead and it's still the same amount of chicken feed. But much easier time-wise. This is chicken feed with water. 3 tablespoons of chicken feed mixed with 1/3 cup water. Get it all out. Cover back up. No mixing required. Put the newspaper back on. Moisten it down. Moisten the sides of the bin. That tends to get dry because the plastic is not covering it, and it is very dry. I'm in the desert, so it's arid here, little to no humidity. Cover back up with the plastic, and I'm on to the next bin. So it's a lot quicker rather than having to mix all the food in. But if you need to, if some worms, like my European night crawlers, they seem to like it better and eat more when the food is mixed into the bin rather than just laid in a trench. So try it out on each of your different types of worms that you're keeping.